I don't know if you'll be able to comment on this, but here's a thought I have hearing that. You have many traits that a plant has in terms of food traits: taste, size, storability, shape, color, how heavy the set is, how early, disease resistance. Are all these things controlled by genetic switches, or could I be fooled by local climate things? So I might think, oh, this plant's putting on fruit earlier this year, but the weather's warmer, different this year than it was last year, creating better conditions for fruit. Or this plant is producing a heavier set, but my soil's a little better this year. It's in a different part of the farm. Differentiating between genetic factors and non-genetic factors in making these changes, and you grow the crops, you have a trained eye to look for a lot of these things. How do you sort out what is the result of genetics and what's the result of something else, climate, human intervention, all that?
So it's kind of, this is the nature versus nurture. And we also and talking about like genetic or environment, right? Like, so is it is it the plant expressing what is inherent to it, or is that the environment making it act a certain way? And and whenever when you're growing something, both is happening. And so your question is a good one. Is like, how can you tell the difference? I'm trying to think how to answer this the right way. Now, like, so just an example of nature versus environment. No, yeah, like genetics versus environment. You might have. I'm just trying to think. Let's say we have like, so if you had if you had you have a very variable pepper population, okay, something that hasn't really been well maintained, and you grow it out, and you're going to see some plants are bigger than others and some smaller than others. Now, it could be that what you're seeing is the genes, and that these are bigger plants and these are smaller plants. Um, but it could also be that when you spread compost or manure, you didn't do a really good job, and there are clumps here and there, and some aren't, and some areas didn't get it. So what you might be seeing is better fertilization, and so those bigger plants may just have grown more because they had more nitrogen. Um, and so that is something that you have to be careful of. Now, the more you know your population, the more you might be able to tell whether that's true or not. Like, if you know this is a variable population, then you might be you might think more likely that that's the genes that you're seeing. If it's something that's fairly uniform, you might be, oh, it's possibly more fertility issue. However, the way to get to offset this. Now, if you were in a, like, if you had more resources, like, the way that you might do it is you would have replicated trials, and you have different patches in different areas so you can see how they're behaving in different places. But that's not going to happen on most farms. What I would say instead is, let's say you're growing a full bed of peppers, and you have, let's say, 100-foot bed of peppers with 2 rows, so 200 peppers. You could, and you see there's an area that has bigger plants than others. If there's one area that's much better than the others, that's probably environmental. If individuals here and there are better, then that's less likely to be environmental. Or if, like, you might have one area that's worse than the others, maybe that's a low spot. It has, either the irrigation didn't happen, or it was the soil is saturated, or for whatever reason. So that's one way to tell the difference between the two. But what you can do is this: you could either mentally or even physically break up that 100-foot bed, let's say mentally, into 10-foot sections. And you go and look at the first 20 plants, and you keep the best 2 or 3 plants. You flag the best 2 or 3 plants. And then you go to the next 20 plants and flag the best, to say, 2 plants. And the same for each section. So what you're doing is you're choosing the best in a smaller section. And so there's less chance that you're going to be selecting based on environment, and more chance that you're selecting based on genetics. And then when you harvest the seed from each of those plants, you're going to try to contribute, like, so I guess your goal is, when I'm saying this, I'm thinking in terms of stock seed for a next time that you're going to grow out the plant, and hoping for it to be the same or better. So I would maybe, let's say it's peppers. I would harvest one or two, let's say I'd harvest 2 fruit from each plant that have flagged. And then I'm going to harvest the seed and put more or less the same amount of seed from each plant into a batch, and then mix it up so that no individual area is overrepresented. Now, this is a bit advanced level, like,
Yeah.
for somebody getting into seed, but it's not impossible to do. And really the big thing is to look for the best plants in an area rather than the best plants over everything. Will help you offset the environmental influences.
Tricky question. That was a good answer. I like it. It makes it simple.
Simple-ish.